Welcome to Kcse English. In today's video, we focus on Fathers of Nations by Paul B. Vitta. In our first video on this novel entitled Fathers of Nations, we focused on the setting of the novel. In this episode, we will closely introduce the study of this novel by focusing on the foreword. Paul B. Vitta, the author of this novel, chose to introduce the novel through a foreword. Conventionally, forewords are written by persons other than the author of the book, or the work for that matter. This foreword is written by the author of this novel. As we know it, the foreword is usually written by an influential person introducing the book to the public. This unconventional approach requires our attention. It is our duty to help the student to interpret the novel. Ours here is to facilitate you to appreciate this novel. In the traditional sense, one would have expected a foreword written by a different person other than the author. In view of this strange occurrence, let us make a distinction between a number of related terminologies, namely foreword, preface, introduction, and prologue. Normally, foreword is written by someone other than the author and tells the readers why they should read the book. On the other hand, a preface is written by the author and tells readers how and why the book came into being. An introduction simply introduces readers to the main topic of the book and prepares readers for what they can expect. In the case of a literary work like a novel, one would have expected the author to introduce his story through a prologue, which refers to preliminary discourse on a work of art. The prologue appears at the beginning of a work of fiction to introduce the reader to the story. It calls attention to the theme of a story. You can call it an introductory scene preceding the first part of a work of art. In view of this explanation, we can conclude that the use of the term foreword on this section of the novel is misleading and, to say the least, misplaced. Let us look at what is presented in this section that the author calls a foreword. It comprises of 2 pages in which the author introduces the issues that he discusses in the novel. It opens with a scene in which a guard is caught selling confidential documents marked for 100 eyes only. We are told that the documents were to only be seen by the heads of state attending a summit in Gambian capital Banjul. At this meeting of heads of state of African countries, it appears that there are disagreements. The foreword simply introduces the issues that the novel grapples with. These include issues of African disunity, the intrigues that are expected at an African Heads of State Summit, and more importantly, the manipulative tendencies of Western powers and agencies in disorganizing Africa. In this foreword, we are told of the views of the Gambians on the boycott of the final session of the Summit of Heads of State. The author promises to reveal what really happened at the meeting in the body of the novel. In a significant sense, we can conclude that this section of the novel is mislabeled and should actually be called a prologue. This is because it does what a prologue does in a novel and is far from being a foreword. On that note, we come to the end of today's installment. Tune in again when we continue our study of Fathers of Nations by Paul B. Vitta. On behalf of my crew, Neka and Pambi, I would like to say kindly comment on this video, share, and subscribe to our channel. Bye for now.